Hello, Jamie here from Inky&Scrappy, sharing you a card I made today, inspired by last night's halftime show. Those boots were everything. So here's my cheetah print stencil that I found at Walmart. I'm pretty sure it's their plaid stencil. I don't know. It was in their craft department. It was cheap. It ended up in my basket. I'm just using Deco foil paste over the top of this. And because the stencil is kind of on the small side, I am going to cheat it and do a second run of it right underneath it, kind of making sure that I don't touch the wet paste because I didn't want to let it dry. And I do end up going back after I take the stencil off and kind of tapping that top row there because it got a little thick. And then adding just taking those dots that I dabbed off and put them on the little spot that I missed there. And then I let this sit for a good hour. I probably should have let it sit a little longer. I went in with a stamp from Ink Road Stamps from Rhodey's Volume 2 and trying to decide if I wanted white or silver embossing powder. I opted to do both so I could decide which one I liked better once the card front was done. So I'm just going in. I was frustrated. My thumb is not bending the way it's supposed to today. So it probably took me way longer to do that than it should have. This was fairly dry. I thought it was dry. I think it's because it was glitter paper. It didn't dry as well. And I don't know why. I try running this through my die cut machine every time and it never works like I think it's going to work. So I did end up taking out my glimmer machine and running it through there on the hot foil setting. I did end up running it through twice and it seemed to work very well. And excuse the desk mess. It's what it is. I tend to have 5,000 projects going at the same time. So, and this time it peels off beautifully. And there we have the white glitter paper and that shiny silver cheetah print. I love it. And then as a cheat, I take the foil transfer clear paper and put it back over the top of it and then die cut it. Otherwise that Deco foil paste tends to, if any of it's sticking out, it tends to stick to my die cut plates, and this way it doesn't, and it die cuts beautifully with no issues. So there, I'm just deciding on my placement there. And what a better saying than be the kind of woman when her feet hits the floor each morning the devil goes, oh shit, she's up. I am just using some Love Nicole Rhinestones, self-adhesive, and kind of doing some visual triangles there. And I think that's it for the card front. It looks, I want that background to really, shine through and stick out. I'm going in with some Distress Oxide in pumice stone, I do believe, and I'm just doing some embellishing on the inside of the card. I haven't decided where this card's going yet, so I don't want to put a stamped sentiment in there yet. This way it's got a little bit of decoration in there, so I could just write a sentiment in there, or I will put the sentiment in there once I decide where it's going. And hot tip today, make sure that stencil's all the way dry, or it will activate that Distress Oxide and you'll get a little black spot. It'll be fine. And I'm just putting the card front back on, and this card is all things glitz, glittery, and shiny. It is awesome. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like the channel. Bye!